In this video, we're going to look at the limit definition of the derivative, which is f prime of x is how we read that. And the formula on the left is the general formula for f prime of x. And the second one on the right is for the very specific point f prime of a. So the difference in these formulas is that this formula finds f prime of x, and what you will get out is a formula in x. And the idea being that if you tell me any point on this curve, I can tell you the instantaneous slope or the slope of the tangent line. This one will just tell you an actual number for the slope at a specific spot. Okay, so this is the formula that is in 3.1. This is the formula that's in 3.2. What I decided to do in my notes is just to use this one for both sections, okay? So in the book, they'll say to use this one. You're welcome to do so, but I'm just going to use this guy, my one-size-fits-all formula for all of these problems. Okay, so how this works, it's a little bit messy, but it's going to be okay. How this works is that if they give me a function, and if you'll remember in an earlier MTAN video, I had this function, and I wanted to find the slope at the point 1, 4. Okay, and we did this earlier. Okay, and I think we got the answer of 2. All right, how this works is that we're going to plug this into this formula. So you'll notice it says f of x plus h. So what this means is that everywhere I see an x in my equation, I'm going to put an x plus h. Okay, when I FOIL this out, I'm going to get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 3. Okay, now, here we go. We're going to go ahead and use this formula. So in fact, I'm going to write it up here. Okay, so when I go to use this f of x plus h is what I just found, that x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 3. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract f of x. So my function is x squared plus 3, right? So I'm going to subtract x squared plus 3. So over here, I'm going to subtract x squared plus 3. Sorry about the camera work. All divided by h. Now, super important. What's going to happen at this initial first step of plugging in our function into this formula? So I plug this function into this formula. You're going to get a giant hot mess. It's just going to happen. What should happen, though, when we go to clean up is that everything that doesn't have an h should cancel out. So what I'm saying is, if you'll notice, when I distribute that negative through, I get a negative x squared and a minus 3. You guys catching that? All right, cool. Notice what happens. X squared minus x squared. 3 minus 3. So what happens at this step always is that everything without an h goes away. If you have a survivor that doesn't have an h, you've screwed up, guys. Okay, so now here we go. How am I going to finish off this problem? Well, you might be thinking, can I plug in h as 0? No. If you plug in h as 0 right now, I'm going to get 0 over 0. But you'll notice that everybody's got an h. So if I factor out an h out of everybody in the top, it'll cancel with that h that's in the bottom. And now all I have is the limit as h goes to 0 of 2x plus h. Now plug in h as 0, and I get 2x. All right, what the heck did I just find? Okay, so remember my function x squared plus 3? What I just found is that the derivative function is 2x. So if you ask me any point on this curve, any single point, if you tell me x is 7, x is 2, x is negative 5, you tell me the x value, I'll tell you how steep the curve is at that spot or the slope of the tangent line at that spot. It's a twofer formula. It gives you both answers. So notice, I was interested in the point 1, 4. So if I want to know what the slope is at x is 1, it's my answer of 2, just like I got earlier. Pretty sweet. The reason why I like this formula with the x's is because if you ask me over and over again different questions about this function, I don't have to do any more like long disgusting algebra. I already did the disgusting algebra. You can ask me about this function all day long. The other thing I like about this formula is that self-check up here of if anything that doesn't have an h survives, I know that I've screwed up. So here again, it allows me to kind of troubleshoot my way as I'm working through a problem. Okay, we're going to do another example in the next video that involves a root. So hang in there.